is Martina Nyama Inashe of martinanyamainashe.com. I am a transforming empowerment coach and I work with women that struggle with relationship breakup. I also work with women to empower them to be who they are meant to be and to connect with the source of their essence, the essence of our being, the love source of who we are. And I help build us a generation that is healed and based on the source of love. And today I just want to talk about something that I have been really reminiscing on. And that thing is about gratitude. There's been so many things that's been going on in my life, around my home, around my culture, around my family, my home country, and everything. So it all culminated to a place where you start to get to a place to question of why did all these things have to happen? And in answering that question for myself, I think I got to a place where I was really, really grateful. And gratitude that came about was not because of the events that have been happening, but the events that have happened caused me to get to a place where I was thinking, right, we are here, and what's coming? And you get to a place that things have changed, but you don't really know what's coming, and you're really afraid of the new things that are going to come in. You don't know how things are going to turn out, whether it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. But when you look back and the things that you thought were bad, and I did that, and I was looking back at the things that I thought really they were bad. But then I began to see something that is very, very different. I was looking back with the eyes of, things were so bad. I had to move out of my own country to go into a completely different country, to start life all over, to move my whole family and all that. But when I look back, I saw the gratitude of that experience. Because if those bad things had never happened, or the things that we perceived as bad had never happened, I would not have been the person that I am today. But those experiences that got me to move from that place into where I am today, I'm grateful for. Those difficult circumstances actually gave me a different experience to what I had while I was there. So from that point, I began to see things differently, because that time and this time are completely different realms. That time was a time where I was focusing on the things that were around me, my family, my children. It was all about me. It was all about my family. It was all about just that little vacuum or place we were in. But when I got out of that country, it didn't become it was all about me, and my family ceased. It became about me, about my family, about my extended family, about relatives, and about so many other people that were no longer close to me. You see, the importance of that became quite clear to me, that we had a very good nuclear that surrounded us, but we never really noticed it. And when I look at that, I valued my own family beyond what I would have done had I been in the same place. And I also look back with gratitude that I was able to be separated from there, and I was able to become a part of something that was important in their lives. Because the little that I did to help them along kept them going too. It gave them hope. Even though it wasn't a lot, it was that little, it helped a lot. And I look back and I think, if I hadn't come out, then how would some of the children that I helped to go to school, what would they have done? The people that got sick that I helped out, what would they have done? The people that had difficulties, that were kind of looking up to me to help them, if I had not been outside of that land, what would have they become? So I'm looking back with gratitude, with a feeling of God, thank you for separating me and becoming who I was and who I was able to do those things that I did. And it's not to blow up my own trumpet, but it's just to express that sometimes the things that we think are bad, when they're looking bad at that moment, in reality, when we look them perceptively with a completely different eye, we see something different. That everything seems like it's been planned for a purpose and for a reason. And for a reason we don't know and we are not aware of the purposes of it. And I move away from that and I look at, okay, when I moved out of there, I was a completely different person. And now I am a totally different person to what I used to be. You see, I've learned a lot of things that I would never have been exposed to had I been in the confines of my homeland. I've become a woman that I would never have become had I lived and stayed in the confines of that land. So as much as I didn't like being outside of the country, as much as I missed out on a lot of things, but I also gained a lot of stuff. I also gained a lot of experience. I also gained a lot of knowledge. I also gained a lot of friends because it allowed me to travel to places that I would never have traveled. It allowed me to meet new people that I would never have been able to meet. And this also allowed me to learn with people that I would never have been able to learn. And that gratitude that I have spells out a big part of my life that I look at. So when things went wrong, some things began to go right for me. And I'm so grateful for that. You see, I can sit here and interact with internet, and I can interact with video calling, and I can interact with all kinds of gadgets that I would not have had been able to have access to had I been confined there. So I got first-time experience of things that I would never have had. And I'm so grateful for that. You know, there are so many things that happened. Some of them quite hurtful. And some of them we don't even want to think about them or talk about them. But from now, I learned that you need to look at things with the different eyes and the different perception. And when I look back and I look with the eyes of love and the eyes of gratitude, I can see the grace that enabled me to become who I have become. I can see the grace that handpicked me from there into the place that I am. And I can see the grace that enabled me to be and to become who I am being right now. So for all those things, I look back and I'm saying I am grateful for that. There's so many things that happen in your life. And when these things are happening in your life, let's talk about relationship breakup. When a relationship is breaking up in your life, when you are in that moment of being negative and being hurt and being pain and all feeling the difficulties, like so many things have ended, your life has ended, your emotions have ended, you are in a pressure place where you don't know what to do with yourself. It feels like all things are coming to an end at that place. And it feels like your life has just been broken down. And it takes a bit of time to come out of that place. But when you come out of that place, if you have come out of that place of the intensity of the emotions when you're going through that pain, I want you to look back. And look back with the eyes of love and the eyes of gratitude for where you have been and where you have been taken out of. Looking back with that kind of perception, it helps you to see. It helps you to understand some of the purposes of the experiences that you have had. For now, I see the purposes of my experiences. Because if I had been together with my family in the same place as they were, I would never have been able to even give them a little bit. There's so many things that I see, the opportunities that opened up there, that I see, that opened the door for some other things that I would never have been able to do. Yet this not happened. So as much as we want to see and to blame and to get angry and to get hurt and to behave in certain ways that will show that we have been hurt or we were hurt, you want to go back more to the place of love and gratitude. Because it is at that place that your perception changes and you start to see correctly. You see, I stand on something that I learned when I was young. That everything happens for a reason. And that reason, it is not meant to harm me or to hurt me, but it is meant to prosper me. So when I see prosperity and I see difficulties now, I now look at, okay, there is something that is good that is going to come out of this. So when you look at your relationship that ended, you want to look at it as there's something good that is going to come out of this. And I do talk a lot about alignment. Like you need to be in alignment with who you are. See, when you're out of alignment with who you are, you keep attracting the things that are going to cause you to hurt, that are going to cause you to be struggling, that are going to cause you to constantly repeat an old story until you come into an alignment with what your soul wants you to be in alignment with. And most of the time, when we look at these stories that we go through, the relationship breakups, divorces, the difficulties that we go through, there's something, it's a push that is giving us or moving us into a place where we are meant to align with our soul purpose. And when we come into that alignment with our soul purpose, we begin to change things. And it's not going to be by any effort that we make. But sometimes things just start to fall into line because you have come into alignment. Some of them are effortless. Some of them you have to get up and take some action. But when you realize that everything is working together for your good, for my good, then consciously we are waking up to knowing that it's not just about me. It's not just about you, but it is about all of us. It is about the consciousness of humanity. It is about causing other people or other species to wake up. It's about us connecting back with the essence of our divinity, the essence of who we are, the essence of our source. It is about us remembering our purpose, our soul signatures, our calling for this time and for this season.